about the time that this couple that I met was trying to get me to hook up with them. No matter where you go by yourself, always have a plan. I found out that the girl, it was her birthday too, so we both celebrating our birthdays. I ain't ever finna go hook up with nobody in another country that I don't even know. What's up, family? It's your big sis T Renee, and I am back today with another story. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Hey, I'm hoping that one day you find something on this platform that resonates with you and make you want to come back and subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber or returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know y'all are here for a story, and that's exactly what I'm going to give you. But before we get to that, y'all know what to do. Go ahead, drop down below in the comment section, leave a hey girl, hey, what's up big sis? As always, all comments are always welcome and greatly appreciated. Just keep it respectful. As you all have seen the title, you have some idea of what I'm about to talk about tonight. So y'all, let's get to this story. So tonight I basically want to come talk to y'all about the time that I was vacationing in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Solo vacationing, of course. If you're new here, I had got to a point in my life where I just stopped asking people to go places with me. I wasn't waiting around on nobody, so I just be on my solo travel shit. I mean, it is what it is. I don't care if you're my man, my husband, my dog, my cat. I will leave your ass into the sea. I was vacationing, and matter of fact, this is a birthday of mine. This is 1 year during my birthday. I went to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Most people be afraid to go to Mexico. Y'all love Mexico, and especially in January. I feel like Mexico in January is like the perfect time to go. You don't have to worry about all this seaweed. The seaweed, the waters are crystal clear, blue waters. Y'all, the best time to be there in my opinion. It can get very touristy in some areas, and Playa del Carmen is one of those places. Cancun, believe it or not, in January, it's not overly crowded, and I love that. But when you go up a little further in Mexico to Playa del Carmen, which is an hour away from Cancun, it can get a little touristy, especially where I stayed, because I pretty much stayed on the most popular street right there in Playa del Carmen. If I can remember the street name, y'all, I'll try to like put it somewhere on the screen, because I'm not about to say it in this sentence because I can't remember. But I pretty much got an Airbnb in a very popular area, and you can pretty much look out my balcony window and see the busy street. And what I love about this place, it was by all kinds of food places. I mean, literally the beach is a few steps away. I'm by a nice little mall. The way this mall set up, like, it kind of was outdoors, but it wasn't that, you know what I'm saying? It was a really nice mall. I mean, it had a movie theater there, all kinds of high-end shops and things, restaurants. Very popular area. And me, I'm a person where I try to stay away from a touristy area, because for one, I'm all about visiting a place and getting immersed in the culture, being amongst the locals, trying out the good food, the best food spots. Y'all be right there with the locals, not in the popular touristy areas. So what some people like to call a tourist trap area. But nevertheless, you know, the food was okay. And isn't always, I've mentioned in other videos, I don't care where I go, I'm gonna always eat me some Italian food. But anyway, y'all, this story is not about that. This story is basically about the time that this couple that I met in one of the little bar, hookah lounges, nightclubs, was trying to get me to hook up with them. So like I said, I was visiting Playa del Carmen, Mexico for my birthday, which was like in January a few years back. And I always tell people, no matter where you go by yourself, always have a plan. Somebody wants to know if you're vacationing by yourself, because people are gonna ask you like, who are you here with? I mean, you know, are you with family, you with friends, are you here visiting somebody? They always ask that, it never fails. And I always got my story together. No, I got folks here. And if I'm somewhere dining by myself, or like in this situation, hanging out at the local bars and clubs by myself, I'm gonna let them know, like, my folks just didn't want to be out. They want to sit up in the room because we've been out all day. You know, I got a little story like that together. I just decided to come down, hear some music, give me some drinks, you know, whatever. So, like I say, I know some people, they probably don't want to lie, but in this situation, these cases, sometimes it's best to have it together. I mean, and granted, if you're like at a resort somewhere, then they may see you, you know, walking around by yourself, because that's like in a closed space. But in a place where I was, no, I didn't really know if I was here by myself or not. So yes, like I said, I did everything by myself. I walked around by myself. For the most part, I felt pretty safe in this area because I was walking around at night, like I said, and I was walking around at night. And it's been times where I've seen stories where people said they have gotten robbed walking around at night because they would probably be hanging out at the beach. And y'all, this strip is a very long strip. I can't remember how many miles the strip is, y'all, but it is a very long strip. Like I said, I'll make sure I put the name of this popular street in the caption up here in my video somewhere. But just all around the area was a touristy area. But I just say this particular street because literally everything is right here. If you're from the USA, then you know most people know all about South Beach or the strip in Vegas, the strip in New Orleans. You know, you got those popular strips. So this is kind of like this strip, y'all. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. But I pretty much walked around, you know, in the vicinity of not just that strip, but all around on the other streets and stuff, because like I said, the further away you are from the tourist area, the better the chances of you having greater food and things like that, better drinks. The food, the prices of things may be cheaper because they're not trying to gouge you for your money. And y'all, these folks are relentless with trying to get you to buy shit. But anyway, like I said, I felt pretty safe, walked around, went to the bars a couple nights after night. This one place called Prana, literally right across the street from another sister company. That place more so served a lot of food, but of course you can hear the music. Like, I'm just gonna try to make sure I insert clips, y'all. I'm gonna try my best to make sure I insert clips of these places. But for me, they're just, I don't know, being in that environment just did something to my spirit. And it's not like I've never gone to nice upscale bars and clubs before, but here for some reason, I can't even begin to explain to y'all how my soul felt in this moment. Like, I was kind of like in awe, because I'm like, damn, I'm really here in Mexico, outside at night in a nice little chill spot. I'm pretty much sitting outside and I can watch people walk by me, enjoying music, having me some good drinks, y'all, because I think I was drinking Crown. What was I drinking? I was thinking, I think Hennessy and cranberry. I think I was drinking all Hennessy and cranberries. This first night I went, y'all, I promise you I had about 8 or 9 of them damn things. But I feel like the people at the club that was serving me, like, they started out giving them to me real strong, but as I kept purchasing them, I think they were just getting over, because they knew I was sitting there, nobody was with me. So they pretty much knew I was in there hanging out by myself. Whether I was in Mexico by myself, they didn't really know, but the people was so friendly to me. I mean, the guys in there, they were so nice. They were so friendly. Like I said, they put me in a very nice spot where I could see everything going on. So, you know, I love the vibes in there. They were playing hip-hop music or whatever. And so I was like, oh, I like this. I'm going to come back. Granted, they had plenty of other bars and clubs around, some that stayed open much later. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe on my birthday, because this was the night, I think, before my birthday. I said, you know what? My birthday's coming up. I'm gonna stay out longer and I'm gonna go to another club or whatever. I'm gonna come back here and chill, then I'm gonna go somewhere else. That was my plan. So my birthday comes along, like the next day or whatever, and man, I had been there for a few days already, y'all. Like, when I go places, I go for quite a while. It may be a week and a half, 2 weeks. It just depends on my mood, my vibe, how I plan the trip out, and how I have budgeted my money, or how I have budgeted my money for a said trip. So it just all depends. But yeah, some places you just don't need a long time. It just depends on you. But so yeah, you know, I really, like I said, enjoyed my days of my trip. I did a lot of walking, a lot of sightseeing, a lot of eating, because in Mexico, you definitely want to eat a lot of food. This is one of the first time that I've tried different foods I've never eaten, but the first time I went to Mexico by myself, I definitely was trying new foods I've never had. But anyway, so yeah, the day of my birthday come, I do what I do that day. I think I chilled in my rooftop pool, y'all, because the Airbnb looks so nice, so upscale. The rooftop was beautiful. Had the best view of the ocean and stuff like that. Yeah, I took a lot of photos, things like that. So the night comes, I get dressed. I think I went to go eat or whatever. Yeah, I got dressed. I went to the restaurant. It was really like a few feet from where I was staying. I ate at that entire restaurant twice because, in my opinion, that was the best thing I ate on this particular trip to Mexico. So I was like, you know what? I've eaten authentic Mexican food. It just wasn't really doing it for me this particular trip. Granted, when I stayed in Cancun some years before, some time before, and I stayed amongst the locals, like literally I stayed in 2 different places in Cancun. One was directly on the beach. The food was so amazing over there. Granted, I kind of got sick. I got sick there. And I believe it was when I was on that boat dock going to the other, like I said, I'll get into that another time. Possibly, I'm probably give a story time about me getting sick or something like that. I don't really know, y'all. I went back to the same hookah lounge, club, whatever. And then this particular night, they was not giving what I was looking for. It was not hip hop they was playing. They was playing, not that techno music, but they were just playing, you know, music for the YT people, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, I listen to all genres of music, but on this particular night, I wanted to hear some more hip hop, and it just was not giving it. But granted, I know it's other bars and clubs in the area. I don't know, for some reason this night, as I sat there and sat around, I didn't want to go do anything else. But I stayed there for a little minute or whatever, because this couple that I met the previous night had came back this night too. And we was just sitting around drinking and talking or whatever. Found out that the girl that was with, because like I said, it was a couple, found out that the girl, it was her birthday too. So we both were celebrating our birthdays. We talking about different stuff. We talking about where they from. I'm talking about where I'm from and all that. They wasn't far from where I was staying. You know, if they wasn't far from my hometown, stuff like that. So we just having a great ass conversation, good ass time. He buying us drinks and we just chilling. And then they come and they like, well, we about to go to the overnight club or whatever down there. They playing all type of music, this and the third. We want you to come hang out with us. And so at this point, they knew that I was like vacationing by myself. Like, I don't know why I felt so comfortable to tell them that I was here by myself. And maybe because this is the second night they seen me by myself. And they didn't, I don't even remember if they asked me the first night was I by myself, but they may have. But I was like, I'm sure I probably told them, yeah, I'm here by myself. I don't know, I just felt comfortable with them. They look like me, I don't know, I don't know. Maybe it was alcohol. But even though I be under the alcohol during those times, I didn't always tell people I was by myself. But like I said, for some reason with them, I was comfortable telling them I was by myself. So anyway, we leave there. We go to this other spot, y'all. Big spot. So crowded. I mean, when I say the vibe was vibing, we first walk up in there, they playing some dance hall music. I love me some dance hall music. I love me some regular music, whatever like that. They playing a mix of everything. But like I said, it was catering to, you know, us. So I was digging that. It had a Caribbean vibe. It gave American. It gave all that. So I was really feeling that. And of course, we drinking more shit, getting more drinks, things like that, whatever. Me and the girl, we dancing with each other. With a dude, he all dancing all around us. Then, you know, I'm noticing, you know, he kind of like groping and touching on me. And I know she's seeing this because she looking, she's smiling. I ain't saying shit. I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. I ain't thinking too much about it because, like I said, we dancing or whatever, you know, nothing to it. We dancing with other people. I mean, it was like that. It was crowded as hell. Everybody was just dancing with everybody. I was feeling good. I was having a good time. Like I said, not thinking too much about me being by myself, and I need to be cautious because I'm here traveling by myself, you know. All that shit go out the window. I'm not feeling threatened by these people, nothing like that. Anyway, like I said, time goes on. We're there for probably a couple hours or whatever. And somehow we got on the subject about people hooking up, swingers or whatever like that. I can't honestly remember, y'all, how we got on this subject. But at this point, it was like we were sitting in a group of people. Like we had started, you know, communicating with some other people there. And in this particular club, it was very diverse or whatever, but it was a lot of us in there in Mexico, you know, and it's a lot of expats that stay in Mexico. So I'm guessing this particular night that a lot of them was up in the club, whatever. And so, you know, I got introduced to some people that had been living there, whatever, there. You know, like I said, they're expats, they living in Mexico, they traveling, doing all kinds of things. They was just talking to me about, you know, trying to get into just living somewhere, you know, living abroad and all that. We having conversations like that. And like I said, somehow, it don't matter where I am, when I'm in a group of people, somehow we always get on the subject of sex, open marriages, and people being swingers and shit like that. And mainly, the couple that I had came to the club with was the ones that kind of was like, so like they had so much experience on talk about this. They was telling me about the hotel. It was telling us about the hotels here in Mexico that have like a adults only environment, and people hook up here. If I can remember the type of the couple clubs that Mexico had, like clubs, the couple resorts that Mexico have that are these type of resorts or whatever, they pretty much talking about that. And they was talking about something, they was going to be in Mexico a while, and they was going to go to this particular resort. And it was like, how long I was gonna be here, and if I wanted to go to their resort or whatever, because he was like, it's all inclusive, it's adults only, it be all kinds of nice parties, whatever. Because we was talking about, oh, we like the atmosphere where we were, and I was like, usually I don't come to places that want to go to the clubs and parties. I said, but you know, I kind of want to get into that. And like I said, we was talking about how, you know, how long I was gonna be there, and if I thought about going to that particular hotel, and they was gonna pay for my space or whatever. Yes, they was like they was gonna pay for it. I don't have to be in a room with them, but they liking my vibe. They want me to come, you know, stay in Mexico a little longer with them. And y'all, I'm not gonna even lie, I really considered it. Not because I wanted to hook up with this couple or nothing like that, because when we have this conversation, they not telling me what type of club it was. It came up because I was looking up the hotel. So they wasn't, I said club. So if this, like when they were saying they want me to come to this resort with them, they wasn't necessarily telling me like what type of resort it was. They just said it's all inclusive, adults only, all kinds of parties and things. Is way cool. And they wasn't the only ones hyping this hotel up either. It was some more people, like I said, the people that be in Mexico was hyping this place up too. But nobody was really saying what type of hotel this really was. So, you know, me, I'm Googling stuff, I'm looking stuff up, because that's just what I do. Especially if I'm thinking about staying somewhere and I need to see, you know, this type of place, because mind you, again, I am by myself. I don't care who you are. You can look like me all day long, but I still need to be on my P's and Q's, because you don't know who could be setting you up for what. But y'all, they really wouldn't, I don't know, set me up type stuff. They was very direct. And like I said, once I brought up what type of hotel this was, they was like, yeah, we this type of couple, we really like you. We want you to come hang with us. Like we said, you don't have to be in a room with us or whatever. But, you know, if when you ready to come, you know, party with us, you can come party with us. We just want you to come enjoy the environment, come enjoy the vibe, meet some other people. And if you don't hang with us a whole lot, you can meet some other people there. Pretty much, you know, go hold myself out. Go, if I want to go hook up with some randoms, baby, I ain't ever finna go hook up with nobody in another country that I don't even know. No ma'am, no way, no how. And I don't know, like, I didn't really say yay or nay at the time. I was like, yeah, okay, just give me a minute to think about it, because I didn't want to change the environment, you know. And I didn't really feel uncomfortable, but I don't know. I can't even honestly tell y'all how I felt. Like, I ain't gonna say I was flattered, but I was just like, wow, like me? I really was saying like, damn, why me? I'm not all that. Like, why y'all trying to choose me? And then again, like I said, I think the girl, she was just really feeling me. And then, you know, like I said, it was our birthday. I don't know what kind of logic she put that me and her was gonna really vibe with her. I don't know how she came about that she wanted me to hang with them. I don't know. Maybe she felt away. Sorry, I don't really know, honestly, but yes. I was like, okay, yeah, you know, I said, well, let's just get through the night or whatever, and then I'll just talk to y'all tomorrow, whatever about it, and see what we gonna do. Yeah. So, folks, that girl, she was just all up on me, trying to get me to drink more. She was just like, just really think about it. You would really like this place. Like, she really was trying to press me to come to this place with them, y'all. I'm like, hell no. I can't. Over time, I was like, hell no, I'm not going nowhere with these people, because I don't get down like that. I'm not trying to be hooking up with you and your husband or boyfriend or whatever. I don't even know if they was, I think they were married. Yeah, they were married. Some of the other couples, they wasn't really married. Like, I wasn't just with couples. It was like multiple different groups of people, but it was a few couples that was sitting in this little area where we were, because it was a big section. So we was all sitting under there. So yeah, I was like, hell nah, I'm good. But yes, y'all, did nothing crazy really happen. I did like talk to them the next day or whatever, because we were supposed to link up and go eat somewhere. But I ended up just pretty much doing my own thing. I was just like, y'all, I'm really tired, whatever. But I will hit y'all up a little later, and then we can just go over, you know, the details of me possibly going here when y'all going or whatever like that. You know, pretty much that, whatever. But y'all, I never did really hit them back up. I did text the girl and just tell her like, yeah, I'm chilling, whatever, finna give me something to eat. I'm just trying to relax because I'm a little tired. I said, I think the alcohol just, you know, got a little hangover. And I'm like, you know, y'all ain't had no hangover. I really ain't had a hangover in a long time. Even though I was drinking a whole bunch of Crown and cranberry or whatever I was drinking, it definitely was some Crown. I didn't really have no hangover because it never really gave me hangover. But yes, I just knew I wasn't finna be with those people. And I was hoping like hell I did not run into them anywhere on this strip, because they was staying somewhere close to this strip too, y'all. But I was like, I hope I run into these people walking out today, because I am not trying to go here. And I'm trying to be nice because I don't want to be like, nah, I'm not going to go there. They see them out and they kidnap me type shit. I don't know. My mind was thinking all kinds of stuff at this point. Like, I just didn't want the energy to be weird just in case I do run into them. Even though I can tell them no, and they shouldn't feel no type of way, but y'all just don't know people. And then we're in another country, so the rules are a little different in another country. People get irked in another country, and it's not like the USA where they're gonna dig into details and figure this shit out. What happens to you is what happens to you. It's out of their hands. If you come up, whatever, it is what it is. And y'all know about the stories of people going out, hanging out with folks in Cabo and all that. Yeah, I ain't want to be one of them. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to stop this video right here. It wasn't nothing too wild. It could have went a whole nother way if I would have went to this hotel with them, y'all. I don't know. That's not the only time I've had couples like get me to try to join in with them on some stuff, but this was the only time abroad that something like that happened to me. Well, out the country, you know, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna stop this video right here. Y'all jump down below in the comment section. Let's chat. Let's talk about a time you might have gone through something similar. Times you got hit on by the couple, solo traveling, and people have tried to hook up with you, trying to get you to be a swinging couple or whatever with them. Whatever it is, if you've done that type of activity with somebody, your mate, all comments are welcome, y'all. But as I always say, just keep them respectful. Also, make sure y'all subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed. And what you waiting on if you ain't subscribing, but you tuning in, I appreciate your engagement. But y'all go ahead and subscribe. Also, make sure your post bell notification is turned on so you'll know the next time that I post. Thank y'all, family, for tuning in with me as always. I know last week I didn't provide y'all a video. I just had so much going on mentally that I just needed a break or whatever, y'all. But I'm gonna make sure I jump back into it. I'm gonna try my best to give y'all another video this week, y'all. But yes, cause I owe y'all another video. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next one.